There we go. Happy Thursday, everybody. Welcome to Survive to Thrive. Super excited that you're here. And today I'm going to share a plan with you, a model to take 25 seller listings in 2024. So let's start with, we have 50 weeks. We're going to work 5 days a week. That's 250 days. And we're going to create a standard that we're going to have 20 conversations every day. If I'm looking down, it's because I'm drawing pictures for you guys as I'm talking. We're gonna have 20 conversations every day. It's a standard. All right. Now I want you to track your calls, just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, as you're making calls. And I also want you to track how many people are answering the phone. Over time, you're going to know what your call to contact ratio is. So you're going to know how many calls you need to have in order to talk to 20 people. All right. Now you're talking to 20 people every single day because, again, it's a standard, which means at the end of the year, you're going to have 5,000 real estate conversations. It looks like that. All right. Now, let's say those conversations are with for sale by owners or expireds. And the purpose of the call, write this down, is to get the appointment. Nothing else. It's to get the appointment, and that's it. Now, that means we're not going to judge away opportunity. If we're talking to a for sale by owner and they're out of their mind because they're asking too much money, we're still going to go on the appointment. If we're talking to somebody who says, I'm never going to list my home, I'm only paying 1% or whatever, it's just noise, ignore the noise, go on the appointment. All right, so the purpose of the call is to get the appointment. Now we're having 5,000 conversations, 20 a day, and we're booking 1 appointment every day. So there's a standard. It's 1 appointment a day and 20 conversations, whichever comes last. Please write that.
John, I'm sorry. John, it's some background noise. Can everyone?
I'm gonna hit mute all. Give me a second. There we go. Is that better? Thumbs up? Okay. If you want to talk to me, please take yourself off mute. All right, so the updated version of the picture we're drawing looks like this. I'm having 20 conversations a day. I'm booking 1 appointment a day, whichever comes last, which means I'm going on 250 appointments. All right. Now, the purpose of the appointment is to create a foundation to follow up from. It's to look for opportunity. It's to listen for opportunity. Now, here's how you're going to do that. Remember that every seller is asking themselves 3 questions about you. Can I trust you? Do you care about me? Can you help me? Or do you know what you're doing? Now, how do we convey this? Well, we're going to call ahead of time. We're going to confirm the appointment. We're going to be a professional. We're going to show up on time. We're going to knock on their door at 4 p.m. because our appointment is at 4 p.m. Nathan answers the door. Hi, Nathan. John Dietz. We had an appointment today at 4 p.m. and it's 4 p.m. May I come in?
Yeah, sure. Please come in.
All right. It's your Kodak moment. Please write that down. For those of you who are too young to remember or know what Kodak is, it's a camera. And it's your opportunity to make a great first impression. Now, how do you do that? You show up with energy, you smile, you're dressed professional. And the moment that they open that door, you've got energy, you're smiling. Hey, Nathan, I'm John Dietz with Blank Real Estate Company. We had an appointment today at 4 p.m. It's 4 p.m. May I come in? Now, the moment you walk in that door, I want you to start with gratitude, and I want you to be enthusiastic about being there, and I want you to be courteous and professional and different than everybody else. In other words, wow, you have a beautiful home. I'm super excited to be here. And before I take a step further, would you like me to take off my shoes? Cool. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to ask the homeowner to take me on a tour of their home. In other words, Charlene, I'd love it if you could take me on a tour of your home, point out the things you love about your home, point out any updates that you've made to your property. Let me know if there's any updates that you would make next if you weren't selling your home. And I'm going to take a lot of notes because this is the information I'm going to use to sell your home. Now, as I'm touring the property with Charlene, I'm asking questions and I'm taking notes out loud, which means as I'm taking notes, I'm talking. So beautiful, updated family room, vaulted ceilings, crown molding, hardwood floors. Wow, I love your house. Beautifully updated kitchen. I'm writing this down as I'm speaking. Granite countertops. That's a question, okay? Because I can't tell, right? Maple cabinets, stainless steel appliances, blah, blah, blah. When did you update your kitchen? Was it like this when you bought your home? You know, Charlene, I can tell that you've got brand new windows. When did you replace the windows? Just out of curiosity, how old is your roof? All right, I'm asking questions that a buyer would ask. Why is this important? Can I trust you? If you're walking through the property and you're not writing anything down and you're not asking any questions, can they trust you? No. What's the message that you're sending to them if you're walking through their property, not taking any notes, not asking questions? The message is, I'm here to get a listing, and the only thing I care about is getting a commission check. I've been on thousands of these appointments, and I've had sellers say to me, John, you know, so-and-so was here. They didn't ask any questions. They didn't take any notes. How are they going to sell my home? It's a good question. All right. So you're taking questions, you're taking notes, you're asking questions, and you're enthusiastic. Next thing, like their home. So important. You're not a real estate agent that's there to point out everything that's wrong with their home. This is not your time to demonstrate your expertise by staging their home. They didn't ask you to come over and stage their home. You're there so that you could potentially bring them an offer. So as you're walking through their home, like their home, you walk into the kitchen. Wow, beautiful kitchen. If I lived here, I'd spend all my time here. You're not walking into one of the kids' rooms and going, purple paint and pink carpet. What the heck were you thinking? This has got to go. That's what other real estate agents do. What's the message? I don't care about you. You can't trust me. I'm just here to get a commission check. All right. Now, the appointment is going to close at the front door. This is the exit conversation. Now, it's a for sale by owner. And Charlene, thank you so much for the opportunity to see your home. You have a beautiful home, and I'm excited about the opportunity to help you sell your home. Before I leave, I'd like to ask a couple of questions. Would that be okay?
Yes,
Here we
absolutely.
go. Let's do it again. So Charlene, you have a beautiful home. Super excited for the opportunity to see your home today. Thank you. And I'm excited to have an opportunity to help you sell your home. Now, before I leave, would it be okay if I ask you a couple of questions?
Sure, absolutely.
Of course. So Charlene, in my experience, whenever a homeowner is selling their home by owner, they usually have a game plan for how long they're going to sell by owner before they hire a professional like me. Is it okay if I ask you what your game plan is?
Sure. My game plan is to see how long I can market it on my own before I uh, jump into my plan B to possibly work with a professional realtor.
Do you have a time frame for that?
At least 60 days.
There we go. So 60 days, I'm going to work really hard to bring a buyer to you in the next 60 days. And if for some reason your home doesn't sell, I'd love to come back and interview for the opportunity to get your home sold. Now, can I ask you one more question?
Sure.
Okay. You know, again, in my experience, Charlene, whenever someone is selling their home by owner, they're selling by owner in order to save on the fee. Is that why you're selling by owner?
Yes, yes, I need to save as much money as possible.
I get it. 100%, I understand. Now, when I scheduled the appointment, you mentioned that if a real estate agent were to bring you an offer, you would pay that agent blank percent. All right. Antitrust laws. My gosh, this got much more interesting. Let's say they're offering 3%. All right. They're
Sure.
offering 3%. So the conversation is going to be, Charlene, you mentioned that you would pay a buyer's agent 3% if they brought you an offer that you accepted. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, cool. Now, if my fee to sell your home is blank, you fill in the gap, guys. If it's 5%, if it's 6%, whatever it is. If my fee is 6%, then the difference between selling your home by owner and working with a professional like me is just 3%. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Now, if I hear motivation, I'm going to continue the conversation. If I don't hear motivation, then I'm not going to go to the next step. The next step would be to ask for a listing appointment. Okay. Now, Charlene didn't sound motivated at all. And the next thing I'm going to say in this conversation would be, cool. I'm dropping a bomb and I'm walking away, guys. That is something that she's going to remember later on. If she gets frustrated, if she's having a hard time selling her home, she's going to remember, it's not going to cost us $30,000 to sell our home. It's really only going to cost us $15,000. John made a good point. And you're going to get a call saying, talk to me about what you could do to sell my home. All right. Now, Charlene, I'm really good at follow-up, which means I'm going to stay in touch with you. I am very persistent, not pushy, but I'll probably give you a call in a couple days.
Sure, sure, John, that will be fine.
Okay. Now, at that
Yeah.
point, guys, all you're going to do is thank them for the opportunity and say goodbye. That's the end of the appointment. All right. Remember, the purpose of the call was to get the appointment. All right. We're having 20 conversations a day. We're booking one appointment every day. We're adding 250 people to our pipeline. And the purpose of the call is to get the appointment. The purpose of the appointment is to build a foundation to follow up from. And we're looking for opportunity. By the way, how does opportunity show up? Well, opportunity shows up usually as frustration. Meaning, if I were to ask Charlene, hey, Charlene, just out of curiosity, what's your game plan? And I heard, gee whiz, I thought my home would have sold by now. I really don't know. That's frustration. All right. If I hear frustration, I'm going to transition to close for the appointment, meaning close for the listing appointment. It sounds like this. So, Charlene, if I'm being too aggressive, please forgive me. However, if you were to hire a realtor, you would want to hire an aggressive agent like me, wouldn't you? And I'm hearing that you might be thinking it's time to hire a professional. So if I could show you how I could sell your home for more money in less time, would you be interested in seeing how I could do that? Charlene, say no.
No, I'm not interested.
Okay, so I'm going to backtrack, right? Totally understand, Charlene. Sorry. Like I said, I'm aggressive. I will follow up with you though. So make it a great day. I'll call you in a couple of days.
Sure. Thank
All
you.
right, guys. The next step, make the call, 20 calls, 20 conversations a day, book one appointment every day, whichever comes last. Go on appointments, one appointment every day. That's 250 in a year. Look for opportunity, build a foundation to follow up. So the next step is follow up. And what we're doing when we're following up is we're following up in order to create emotional proximity. It looks like that at the bottom of the screen. So lead generation on the far left side, schedule an appointment. That appointment goes to follow up. Those 250 people are now in follow up in order to get to this line right over here, which is emotional proximity. That emotional proximity line on the far right of the model is the moment they get serious about selling their home. Now I'm going to call once a week for the first month. And then I'm going to call once every other week for the next 2 months. So now I'm 3 months in. The only reason I'm going to stop calling is if Charlene sold her home or she hired another realtor. Other than that, I'm going to keep calling. Now, after 3 months, I'm going to back it down to once a month. And my follow-up calls, now I'm not going to include everything I'm going to share with you in every follow-up call, but I'll share some questions with you. Okay. All right. So this is John Dietz following up as promised. That's how every conversation starts. This is Charlene following up as promised. This is Nathan following up as promised. This is Joanne following up as promised. Why is that important? Because real estate agents suck at communication. And the number one reason real estate agents lose listings, or the number one complaint from homeowners, is poor communication. So this is Nathan following up as promised. I'm letting them know I'm good at follow-up. I'm good at communication. Can you trust me? Do you care about me? Yes. So this is Joanne following up as promised. Is your home still available? Have you had any offers? What kind of feedback are you getting? All right. Is your home still available? Have you had any offers? What kind of feedback are you getting? And how's the activity? In other words, how many showings have you had? You know, Joanne, it's been 30 days since we first met. Just out of curiosity, in the last 4 weeks, how many showings did you have? Now, if I hear, not a lot, you know, I got a lot of real estate agents, but not many buyers, maybe 2. You know, Joanne, here's what we're looking for. When we're marketing a property, we're looking for at least 1 to 2 showings every week. Now, if we're not getting 1 to 2 showings every week, it either means that the market is rejecting our offer based on price, or it means we're attracting the wrong buyers, or we're not attracting the right buyers. Now, just out of curiosity, what does a great buyer look like to you, Joanne?
Well, John, that's a good question. I'm wondering, because you said that you had some buyers. Why haven't you brought any buyers?
I love that. Thank you. You know, Joanne, that's a great question.
That was a great question.
Right. And boy, I was hoping I would get it. Okay, cool. Thank you, Joanne. All right. So, Joanne, that's a great question. And I'm hearing that you're a little bit frustrated that I haven't brought a buyer, right?
Yeah, I was hopeful.
Sure. Can I tell you why?
Yeah, please.
Cool. Nobody's calling me about your house.
Did you share with them everything that you saw that we talked about?
Well, see, Joanne, here's how it's working. I'm getting calls and I'm working with buyers and I'm selling homes. But the calls that I'm getting are from buyers that are calling me in reference to properties that I'm marketing. And since I'm not marketing your home, no one's calling me about your home. I'd love to bring you a buyer. However, I haven't got the right buyer yet. Now, the right buyer for your home is looking for a home just like yours. And unless I'm marketing a property just like yours, I'm not going to get a call from a buyer for your home, am I?
Okay, so you shared my home with all of your buyers and none of them are interested.
You know, that's an interesting point, Joanne. So I'm working with blank number of buyers. Guys, you fill in that number. Okay, if it's 6, if it's 8, if it's 10, whatever it is. Let's say it's 8. So, Joanne, that's an interesting question. I am working with 8 buyers right now. Now, in our market, there's 200 plus buyers that are looking for homes. Now, I told all 8 buyers that I'm working with about your home, and it's just not the right property for them. I didn't tell the other 200 that are looking for a home like yours because I'm not marketing your home.
So what does that look like if you were to market my home?
Let's meet tomorrow.
Great.
Right? I mean, that's the answer, guys. Now, you're not going to say it just like that. I did that for the purpose of this call. But great role play, Joanne. That's exactly real life, and you're going to hear that. Let's go back to the question I asked you a moment ago, though. I'm jumping in and out of role play. I hope you guys realize that. Okay. Joanne, tell me what a great buyer looks like to you.
A great buyer is somebody who could move in quickly and offer us our full list price.
There you go. All right, guys, write that down. Sellers go to script school. You guys are in script school with me 5 days a week. They're going to script school too. The good news for you is they don't have very many scripts. And one of their scripts is a great buyer is somebody who can afford my home, right? Now, Joanne, can I share with you what a great buyer looks like to me?
Yeah, that's fine.
Cool. A great buyer is somebody who sold their home yesterday and they need to buy a home to move into within the next 30 days. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, that would be perfect.
Be a great buyer. You know, also a great buyer is somebody who's in town for the weekend to buy a home. That's a great buyer too, isn't it?
I think, I mean, sure.
Well, they're here for 3 days and they're going to buy a home. That's a great buyer, isn't it?
Oh yeah. Yeah, that would be awesome.
All right. Side note, whenever somebody says maybe or possibly, don't accept that. It's yes or it's no. All right. Help them get clarity on this. Yes or no? Yes, that's a great buyer. Cool. Now, if you were that buyer, Joanne, are you out driving around looking at for sale by owners? Or are you working with a real estate professional like me?
That's a really good point. I hadn't thought of that, John. Yeah, I'm probably working with a realtor because I probably would want the help.
Yeah, I agree. Now, if you're the realtor that's working with that buyer, are you driving around showing them for sale by owners, or are you showing them homes that are listed by a professional like me?
No, I'm not driving. Yeah, no, I think probably not. Probably going to you for list, but a lot of buyers look on Zillow. Everyone I talk to looks on Zillow, so they should see me on Zillow.
Yeah, and I agree. And the question was, I'm sorry, I don't mean to check you on this, but the question was, if you're the realtor, are you taking your buyers to properties that are listed by a professional, or are you looking for sale by owners?
Yeah, I guess I was thinking more of your question about if I was the buyer. I'm still thinking about the buyers. So they're kind of looking on Zillow and they should be calling me directly from Zillow.
Hopefully. But if it's that buyer that has to buy a home in the next 30 days, they're working with an agent. They're not looking on Zillow. They don't have time to look. They're looking, they need to find a home right now.
Got it.
So,
okay.
Joanne, if you're not attracting one of the best buyers in the market, which we just discovered that you're not, if you're not attracting one of the best buyers in the market, who are you attracting?
No, I guess I don't know.
So could that be the reason why your home is still for sale?
Maybe.
Yeah. And if I could show you how I could sell your home and net you more money and sell it in less time, would you be interested in seeing how I could do that?
I'm interested, but we need to get the most out of this home. And so we're not willing to pay more than 2%.
So let's do this. Let's get together tomorrow and let me share with you what I'm doing to sell 3 homes every month, 4 homes every month, 2 homes every month, 10 homes every month, whatever the number is, guys. And if your resume is not, it doesn't have the numbers that you want to use, then change it to we as your team or your office. Okay. So let's get together tomorrow. Let me show you what I'm doing to sell 5 homes every month in an average of less than 30 days on the market. And at the end of our meeting, you let me know what you feel I'm worth. And if I'm able to work for that, we have a deal.
Okay, that sounds good, John.
Okay, I'll see you tomorrow. Good job.
Thanks.
Good job. All right, guys, take yourself off mute. Talk to me.
That was great hearing Joanne have some obstacles that a seller would normally say.
Yeah.
especially a FISBO.
Yep. Agree. Questions, feedback?
I think that's the hardest one. I get it a lot. And it's, are you going to bring me a buyer? Do you have a buyer? And explaining to them how this really works, that we, you know, that the likelihood of us bringing them a buyer is like 3% versus if they marketed it, if we could market it for them. It's hard to get that point across. So that was a good script to follow.
Yeah, well, remember, people will never change their mind, but they will make a new decision based on new information. And what did I do? Did I sell and tell, or did I ask questions?
Ask questions.
Right. And I'm asking questions because I want Joanne to self-discover that probably a good idea to take a look at putting her home on the market with a professional real estate agent. If it's her idea, she's cool with that. If I tell her she should do this, she's going to push back.
I like how you didn't go over numbers when she asked about, when she said the 2% was the most she was paying, and you just said, let's meet tomorrow. Like, you know, you're going to tell her in person.
Yeah, never overcome an objection on the phone, and never overcome a commission objection until you're at that point in the listing presentation. All right. Now, all I'm going to do is exactly what I did, or I understand, let's get together tomorrow at 2. Right now, if Joanne says, are you saying that you'll take my listing at 2%? I'm going to follow up with, let's get together tomorrow. Let me share with you what I can do to get your home sold. And you share with me what you feel I'm worth. And if I'm able to work for that, we got a deal. All right. Commissions are negotiable, right, guys? 100% they are, right? Okay. Now, we'll get into that conversation later, but for today, let me wrap it up. Purpose of the call is to get the appointment. Your daily standard is 20 conversations a day and 1 appointment booked, whichever comes last. Now, if you will commit to that standard, hold yourself accountable to that standard, you will be face-to-face with 250 homeowners, sellers, potential listings in 2024. Now, when you're face-to-face with 250 potential listings in 2024, and then you follow up systematically until they sell their home or hire another agent. Otherwise, you don't stop calling. You rejection. No is not a word that lives in your vocabulary. No simply means not yet. You know that they're not going to change their mind, but they will make a new decision based on new information. Your conversion ratio at the lowest level will be 10%. I'm not picking numbers out of the air. This is from 15 years of experience, okay? Now, you're thinking 10%, that's awful. Well, okay, 10% is 25 listings. 10% of 250 is 25 listings. And I started this call with, I'm going to show you how to take 25 seller listings in 2024. All right.
John, I have a quick question. It might not be for today, the answer. You mentioned a few days ago that we would get back to how to find these phone numbers if we